In a Nicholls kitchen classroom, Chef Jana prepares a family favorite, alligator gar ball stew, starring garfish caught by her father in Johnson Bayou.
Today we're going to be making alligator garfish ball stew. And so here I have a small alligator garfish that my father actually caught for me this Saturday. In fact, he caught all the garfish we'll be using in this segment today. These alligator garfish have come from a deep bayou in Johnson Bayou, Louisiana, where my father caught them. I believe he caught these with a rod and reel too. These were not caught with a jug line. Now I'm going to go ahead and grind my garfish. And what I've got is alligator gar that I've cubed with Trinity that's just been chunked up. Some green onion, parsley, celery, and regular old white onion. So you want to do a really nice fine grind on this. So once you have your ground garfish with your Trinity, we're then going to add some butter crackers or breadcrumbs, whatever type of cracker you might like to use for this, saltines as well, and some whole egg. And for about 1 quart of garfish meat, I normally add about 1 to 2 sleeves of crackers and about 6 eggs. It really just depends on the moisture content of your meat once you grind it. So once I have this all mixed up with my eggs and my cracker crumbs, I'm going to season it rather heavily with some salt, black pepper, onion powder, granulated garlic, cayenne, and then you end up with this beautiful farce. Rolled it into balls here, as you can see, and we're going to go ahead and sear these up. Oftentimes my family will just deep fry these, and I know that in Italian families they do a similar thing with their meatballs when they make their red sauce and meatballs and gravy. So we're going to just get a nice sear on these on all sides. So farce is like just a ground meat. It could be ground poultry, it could be ground pork, ground beef, veal. Today our farce is going to be made with some ground garfish. You don't have to be concerned about cooking these all the way through because they're going into a stew and they're going to finish cooking in the gravy itself. We're really doing this because the farce it's soft. So we're trying to kind of make that harder barrier on the outside so that they hold together when we put them in the stew. And we're just going to brown these on all sides, and you can see I have some that are finished here. I'm going to start my roux here in my black iron pot. We're going to make a nice, beautiful dark roux. And my oil is smoking. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my flour all at once. I like to use a whisk. Some people like to use a roux spoon, but I find a whisk really helps me work it quickly. We're going to constantly whisk here. Okay, so right now we're kind of at a peanut butter. We're going well past this at this point. We're going to let this continue to cook. Okay, and here we are. Got the color we're looking for before we add our Trinity. And in goes the Trinity. You can smell the caramelization process happening on these onions and bell peppers. You can smell like that sweetness, that roast that's happening. So you would want to add your stock gradually. So we're adding just enough stock to have like a stew, slightly thick liquid here. We're not doing a gumbo. It's not going to be soupy. We're making a stew. So think gravy. We will season now at this point. We're using salt, granulated garlic, granulated onion, some cayenne pepper. You can put a little hot sauce in there if you'd like. You could also throw in any herbs that you might like, some oregano, some thyme, a little dried basil even. That would be quite lovely. I've used granulated onion, granulated garlic, salt, black pepper, and cayenne. This has been simmering for about 35-40 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my garfish. I'd let these finish cooking for about 10 minutes. gonna go ahead and throw in my crab claw meat. Crab claw meat just has this beautiful sweetness to it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw that in. At this point, I could kill the fire. I really just wanna heat this up thoroughly. The crab meat is cooked itself, and we don't really want to break it up too much. We just wanna kinda gently fold it in. I'm gonna finish this with a little hot sauce, some chopped parsley, a little green onion. Just kind of fold all of that in. You can serve this stew with pasta, potatoes. Smothered potatoes would be delicious. Today we're gonna serve it with some steamed white rice. This is a very hearty Cajun bayou type dish that we eat at home from where I'm from in Cameron Parish. And I hope you all enjoy this recipe and show the garfish a little more respect because it's delicious and everybody needs to get on board. They don't get enough appreciation. Garfish is definitely an underutilized species, and I'm hoping to work more closely with the biology department here who are seeking out different ways to use them, and that we can come up with some more interesting methods and recipes for others to use.
Louisiana Coastal Cooking, Saturdays at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. on WYES New Orleans. Check local listings for your public TV station. Learn more at WYES.org.